Welcome, my name is Kit and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do a slightly different video. So let me first tell you a story. In my first year of uni, I had a friend named Kirsty, and Kirsty told me one day that she thought I was the most organised person she's ever met. And I was actually quite surprised. I was quite shocked because I just thought everyone else was organised and, organised in general. But then as over the years, I realized that she was right. Like, I am more organized than a lot of people. So today I wanted to share with you how I get organized in terms of a week. So this is my system that I have been using for the last 6 months. It has evolved over the years. And so take the bits that are useful for you and your situation at the moment, and I just really hope that it'll be useful for you to become more productive. So these are some of the things equipment-wise that you need. Firstly, an art book. You need your diary, if you have a physical diary, a ruler, maybe some pencils and color pens, and your phone that might have your calendar or your to-do list. Okay, so the first step in my prayer is that I take my phone and I turn on the airplane mode because I want it to be undistracted. And this planning usually takes me an hour each week. So I spend an hour just focusing on this. The second thing I do is I spend time praying. And I pray something along these lines, that God will help me to plan well, that God will help me to have His priorities, and that this week I can glorify Him and that He can open my eyes to the opportunities of the people and the tasks that He wants me to do. So step number 3 is reflection. I spend a bit of time reflecting on the past week, how I went. So the question that I ask myself is, was I effective last week? It's not was I efficient, but was I effective? And thinking about your goals for your last week, things that you wanted to do, so thinking about that. And I spent some time writing in my little journal here, just about how I think I went. If you need more reflection questions, then maybe things that might help you is, what did you do well last week? Was it something that new? Was it something that was difficult that you found? Some of those are little prompting questions that might help you kind of work out, were you effective last week? And this is step 4, and this is where you need your art book. We're going to plan for the specific things that you're doing this coming week. Okay, this is me in fast forward. Here I am drawing in my art book. The first thing that I need to draw is 8 columns. I draw 1 column for each day of the week. Then on the 8th column, that's where I write the upcoming events and project and tasks. So it's got a place to kind of keep in mind. I might not do anything in particular for it, but at least it's a place that keeps in mind that if I have extra free time, I can keep working on it. Then I write down a phone number, phone calls and emails I need to do, people I need to contact this coming week. Then I divide the page into 4 so that I can write urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent, important, and not urgent and not important. And this is a place where I can keep my task. The next thing to do is here I am filling in each day with the events and the meetups and the meetings. So it might be a bit small to read, but between 6 to 8, I get up and I do a bit of exercise each morning. And then between 8 to 10, I have my quiet time and I get ready and eat breakfast. So I write out each of the time slot, and then using my calendar on my phone, I fill in the time slot. So my work day generally is between 10 to 6, and except for Wednesday when I start at 7 a.m. And then I have a little box for the evening between 6 to 9 is when I rest and have some quiet time in the evening. So sometime later, so after filling in my week with the events and meetup, I look at the individual events and then I think about each of the event, if there's a task involved with it. Then if there is a task, then I write that task in the task box below, and I do that for all the events. And I also color in each day where the gaps are. That just kind of, alert my eyes to where the time slots are and where I can fill in any gaps with any activities that I have to do that coming week. So after coloring in all the pretty boxes, this is step number 5. It's a Todoist app image. So I use the Todoist app to write down all my tasks that I have that week. And here I am filling in the urgent, important, and all the little task box. And then at much later, this is one I prepared earlier, and you'll have something like this, something that's filled in. Okay, number 6. I have a look on my to-do list and look at the future projects. So again, looking at future projects, write down the things that you need to do this coming week, or on my upcoming list, I kind of write them down, so that kind of helps me to kind of keep in mind what's happening in the future. And then number 7, I would check my emails, and then looking at my emails, I would add them in as well, add all the lists of things I need to do. So that's my 7 steps on how to plan my week. Hopefully that will be helpful for you. As a bonus thing, just to kind of let you know what I do on a day-to-day basis, I get a piece of paper out, and then look at my list, and I choose 3 things to do for that day, and then I write them down on a piece of paper, handwrite them out, and then that way I can focus on each task for each day. And as you saw earlier in my calendar, there are gaps, and then I color them in. Sometimes I also put in tasks in there just to kind of help me to focus, knowing that that particular hour or that particular time is for that particular task, to kind of help me to be productive as well. All right, so hopefully that helped you. If you have a different system, comment down below and write down what you do. Maybe you have a simpler system or more complicated system. Let us know, because that we can learn from each other. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh. Not a very straight line. Oh no, that's not a very big box. Shall I start again, please?
Okay.
Take my diary, and what I do is I use the page that's for this current week, and I will write my reflection. And so I would write how I thought about last week. Helpful for you? And then each day, just as a bonus thing, each day I will look at my list, and I would pick about 3 things, and then write them down. Oh, sorry, I need to cough. Let me just go again.